How many of you were impacted by the outage today? I definitely was. I woke up this morning, opened my Robinhood app, was ready to trade at the opening bell, and then nothing. It was like everything was almost like I wasn't connected to the internet. Then later today, we're watching the Lions game right now while we're recording, but I have my gear on. I got my hat on. I'm going out the door because I wanted to pick up a pizza. And I already planned it yesterday. It's Monday Night Football. Lions are going to be playing. I'm going to go pick up some pizza, my favorite spot around the corner from the house. And I have just enough points so I'll be able to get a free pizza. So I open up my app, load it. My mouth is salivating just thinking about the delicious pizza I'm about to eat, and the app's not working. So today was a mess of a day, and it was attributed to a stock that I am heavily invested in. I actually have more money allocated towards Amazon than I do as far as options trading than I do any other company. And despite this major outage today, the stock rallied, just like pretty much everything did. But let's dive into it a little bit deeper. So AWS, the cloud service that provides a lot of services for major businesses that we interact and know each day, such as Disney's Plus app, Lyft, McDonald's, New York Times, Reddit, Ring doorbells, Robinhood, like I explained at the top of this video, Snapchat, United Airlines, T-Mobile, and Venmo. And I'm sure there was many others that were impacted as well. Airlines were impacted as well. I don't think there was anything major as far as the airlines, but there was a little bit of slowdown. And a lot of this happened early in the morning, like 3 o'clock this morning, and it continued to get a little bit better as the day went on. I believe I saw, listening to CNBC today, it was a lot of the major issues was located in Virginia, and I believe it's one of the oldest facilities that AWS operates. So maybe that facility needs to be upgraded, and we'll get a little bit more information about that when Amazon does report here in about 10 days. But the stock, despite all of the outages, it wasn't like I almost said CoreWeave. It wasn't CoreWeave. CrowdStrike, when they had that major outage and impacted the airlines and impacted Microsoft and their system and everything, and that stock really took a hit. The complete opposite, actually. Amazon stock actually went higher. And I did want to look at the charts real quick, and we're not going to touch on this for too much. But Amazon stock, and this is 3 months out. Okay. So since right here is September, early September, where the stock really peaked in this 3 months time frame, the stock has been on a downtrend, as we can see here, as we go from left to right. And we broke, as we can zoom out, we broke actually last week the 200-day moving average. So this is the over 200 days. This is the average closing share price of Amazon stock over 200 days. We actually broke below that. But today we had some heavy buying here, as you can see. Let me get into your guys' view. We got some heavy buying right here. And this is for the day chart. So you see the buyers really stepped in today. Look at the 4-hour chart. See a little bit better. And then the 1-hour chart right here. So we got quite the positive momentum coming for Amazon stock. So I just want to lead on that because it was impacted a lot of folks today. I can't imagine how it didn't impact you unless you did not leave the house today. And even if you left the house, if you are on the Robinhood app, it would have impacted you as well. But let's go over the entire market as a whole. Our 3 major indexes, our scoreboards, were all up: the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow. S&P closed above 1% today. NASDAQ up above 1% today, and the Dow closed above 1% today as well. We did not achieve any new highs, but we are heading back towards uh, those most recent new all-time highs for the major indexes, their scoreboards, as we like to call them. And it's a great way to start the weeks for a Monday. I believe last week we might have started out hot and then it was choppy after that, but it's great to start Monday off nice. I did want to hit on Bitcoin. Bitcoin was below 108,000 this weekend. You see now we had the rally off of for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So good to see that bounce. I did participate and showed in the Patreon that I wasn't just calling out Bitcoin. I was actually buying myself. Nothing really aggressive, but like to add on to the little bit of money that I have. Kind of just like buy it and set it and forget it. That's money I'm not going to see for a very long time. And hopefully Bitcoin continues to go up as I believe it will. All right, before we jump into the companies and options, this is our all-in collective, our top 7 stocks that we have at least $10,000 or more invested in. And I didn't get a chance to look today and update, but we keep it in most invested or most allocated towards at the top and then working our way down. And then we have in our smaller positions are just companies that we are invested in long term, but we don't have $10,000 or more invested. So that 7 is Meta, NVIDIA, Apple, Vertiv, Amazon, Uber, and Netflix. And you'll see a lot of the companies, if you're your first time watching the video, see a lot of companies that we trade in our options are going to be a lot of the same companies we have in our long-term investing portfolio as well. So it was good to see that Meta had a nice bounce today. Earnings are about less than 2 weeks out, so it's good to see momentum going into these stocks that are down about 10%. NVIDIA, that one was actually right in, it was held consistently last week, despite it did dip from its high that it was at, but it held pretty steady last week, down 3% past 5 days, but despite everything else, in comparison to everything else, it actually held together pretty strong. Apple today, we had a lot of upgrades today, and it seems like Apple is back in favor, and it actually hit a new all-time high today at 264.38. It closed just under 4% for the day and closed at 262.24. It's great to see Apple pushing higher. iPhone 12 sales are doing extremely well, much better than iPhone 16 for that base iPhone model, iPhone 17. I believe the Air is just released in China, so we'll see how that goes. I believe it's selling strong, and then domestically in the U.S., those Pro Max versions of the phone are very popular. So it's good to see Apple is trending higher. A lot of analysts were kind of mixed. They're saying, look at their valuation. Apple is expensive, but we also talk about other companies where our valuations are astronomical and the momentum is still going perfectly fine there. So why are we picking and choosing, looking at the PE ratio or its valuation, and then some other stocks were perfectly fine looking at it when their valuation is astronomical and is not even sustainable over the long term. So I'm long on Apple. I was buying aggressively over a year ago when it was 170. I told you guys Apple was my first option contract that I got in, and I did extremely well with it. And then earlier this year, in the summer, it was a lot of negative sentiment towards Apple again, or no one was going to buy this iPhone 17. It's the same thing. They're not innovating. What about the AI? Well, Apple is doing nothing but getting busy, giving the customers what they want, a strong, durable phone with updated features. And it's the investors and the analysts that are looking for this special AI, this updated Siri. Clearly, that is not important to iPhone customers. I believe in the future they will roll something out. There is a little bit of talk that they do have they're working on it's internal right now, but a very powerful Siri that is kind of to the liking of ChatGPT. It's just internal. They're working through that, but I've heard it. Folks saying that it's a success, and eventually they'll probably roll that out to us, to the public, and probably charge us a fee, and then that means services business will probably continue to grow, and that's good to see. So I'm a little nervous seeing that it's trading at new highs up into the earnings before we really get the earnings, but it's good to see the sentiment has actually changed and people want to invest in Apple. I think the reason why we're seeing these moves because people are under allocated towards Apple because there's been such negative sentiment. Okay, Vertiv up 1% today. We love that company. As far as the AI infrastructure build out, Amazon, we talked about Amazon. Uber, I actually got into an options play with Uber. We'll talk about options in just a second. That was up 1.5%. And Netflix, who are reporting tomorrow, moved 3%. This stock has really been hovering around 1,200. 1150, I was saying, was a great price to buy. I bought some shares at 1150 in my long portfolio. I actually sold it in one of my portfolios just because the share price was, I had only had one share and the share price was astronomical compared to the other smaller companies that I invested in. So if I added another share, it would have just kind of outbalanced everything. I like to have diverse portfolio, and then I would have been just like heavily skewed Netflix, and that wasn't really what I was looking for, especially when I think Netflix will do well, but I believe you can find and pick other individual stocks that will perform a lot better than Netflix short term. All right, let's get into the options. Now, if it's first time watching this video and you watched it this far, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the notification, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you like this video and share. But if you really want to get busy with me and make some passive income, I have a options video. It's free and is in this playlist, Options Trading 101 for beginners. Check out that course if you're new to options. Then jump into my free online community for investing. You jump in for free, get a lot of information. We just dive a little bit deeper in there in that Patreon, a little bit more hands-on than what this video can provide. And we'll talk about stocks, long-term, and options trading. And then if you really want to get busy, if you're an investor yourself and you wanted to unlock some of these strategies that we use consistently to get money out of the market, then there's a paid version of the Patreon, and it's only $10 per month. I guarantee you'll get $10 in value within the month, guaranteed, even if you don't make money within that month. And we're consistently making money, so you should be too. No promises. I am not a professional. This is really all entertainment purposes. I just want to show you guys my winning strategies because I want other folks, I want to build community so we all can make money together. We can all travel and invest together in other endeavors outside of the stock market. And just retire and just live a cake life, right? So let's get into it. Amazon, we talked about them, NVIDIA, Uber. Like I said, I got into an Uber contract today because I wanted to, I wanted to add a little bit more to Uber because I believe this stock is destined to be $100 plus easy in the near future. So I want to take a part of that ride. Meta, that contract is down probably about, think I have it open. Our Meta contract is down about 16, 17% right now, but it's very advantageous, very risky. We have it out until June of next year, but it's for a $900 strike. And so we're very bullish on Meta. I've seen some of the analysts have been bringing down their price targets, but hopefully Meta, this upcoming quarter, they blow the quarter out the water. And some of those worries about overspending in AI build out or really just not really moving the needle as far as being one of the top LLMs that's out there, competing with OpenAI and the likes of others that are out there as well. I have my Meta Ray-Bans, and I've been using Meta AI a lot more. I prefer using Gemini over anything else. I really don't spend as much time on ChatGPT anymore. I like Gemini for the questions and research that I need. ChatGPT is nice as well, but Gemini, Google's working just fine with me. DraftKings, we've been getting kicked around with this contract, but I still believe shares at this price are definitely extremely undervalued for the if you want to play this game for the long term. Now, short term, it might really short term. If you're investing in this company, you really playing for the earnings and that earnings report. Hopefully, from DraftKings, FanDuel, those leaders tell us that the competition from Kalshi or Polymarket, those event contracts or those prediction markets, are not taking significant market share from the company, and they're going to do just well moving forward. I think that'll push the stock a lot higher. Palo Alto, we've been in that company for a while, and it's just been cooking for us. Cybersecurity, they are one of the leaders in cybersecurity. It's going to be hard to live without a company like this. As long as they can keep up with the AI and advance their technology and offerings, I think Palo Alto is a no-brainer. It's just a matter of catching it at the right price. And MP Materials, we've been talking about this. It seems like rare earths are very sexy right now. And this company is basically the leader in rare earth as far as digging up in the rare earths, breaking them down and getting everything, all the components and everything from the broken when it's broken down and separated. Sorry, I'm not technical. And then third is really taking all those components, the rare earths, and creating those magnets. And for those go for EVs, for the defense, for the missiles and things like that, from cell phones to semiconductors. So rare earths are extremely important. And so I always like to invest in the leader in the space. And MP Materials Corp, MP is their ticket symbol, is a company that you should probably be looking at. There's a couple other companies like US Rare Earths, I think is a company that is pretty popular right now as well. But this company's already moved 400% plus 400% this year. So, but it was up to $100 right now. It's at 83. So I'm interested in getting in at this dip here and ride it into the future. This is a long-term play, but I'm not going crazy with it. Okay, some of the other companies in our long portfolio. Gold, we're invested in gold, is doing very well. Even though it dipped on Friday, it got back, doubled what it lost. I think it was down $1.50 on Friday, and now it's up over 3.5%. Robinhood, crypto bounced back, so Robinhood bounced back up 4.5% today. We already talked about these other companies. Microsoft, we have a little bit in bullish. We jumped into the IPO at bullish. We got a little bit of CrowdStrike before it took off. And then Figma, we just had one share in that IPO there. But that's it. I just wanted to kind of go over that AWS story today and how it impacted me and in my dinner tonight. But I hope you guys got some value out of this video. If you enjoy how I broke everything down, join the Patreon. And I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, and make sure you like this video. Peace.